The spelling of many English words differ despite having identical sounds, which can be very confusing. There are numerous words in English that can be used interchangeably or to indicate something similar but different. Hi, my name is Teacher Manette from chrisamericos.com, where we help you to level up and show the world the best version of yourself. This is the third and final video in a series of 3 videos about commonly misunderstood words in English. Each video contains a few words that are commonly misunderstood in English. Make sure to watch all 3 videos. In the second video, we covered the following words: advice versus advice, among versus between, capital versus capital, compliment versus compliment, disinterest versus uninterest, emigrate versus immigrate, flaunt versus flout, historic versus historical, it's versus its, and lose versus loose. Before we get started with today's video, I would like to remind you that there is a PDF document that you can download with a worksheet to practice today's commonly misunderstood words. Let's get started. Commonly misunderstood words, part 3. Number 1. Assure versus insure versus insure. Assure is a verb meaning telling someone confidently that something is real and that it will happen, especially to ease their concerns. For example, I assure you that everything will work out the way you want it to. He assured her that her car would be fixed within the next few hours and that she wouldn't be late for her meeting. Ensure is a verb meaning a guarantee that something will occur. For example, she took the right steps to ensure that no one cheated during the game. Each airline has the responsibility to ensure everyone's safety during the flight by doing the necessary checkups between flights. Insure is a verb meaning take precautions against risk by paying an organization on a regular basis that will pay out a set sum of money in the event that you pass away, are seriously injured, or have your home or belongings damaged, destroyed, or stolen. For example, before you drive your new car, make sure that it is insured. I want to insure everything in the house before it's too late. Number 2. Anyway versus anyway. Anyway is an adverb. This word has different meanings. The first meaning, regardless of anything else, without considering anything else. For example, he didn't want to go to the movies but went anyway to keep everyone happy. The second meaning, anyway is also used in conversation to switch topics, bring up a previous topic, or advance to the most fascinating part. For example, anyway, as I said, I really want to go to Bali this coming holiday. Meaning number 3, used to provide a more significant justification for something you are stating. For example, I don't want to go and I'm busy that weekend anyway. Anyway is a phrase meaning a term that means any technique or method. For example, you can study for the exams any way you feel comfortable. Number 3. Compose versus comprise. Compose is a verb. This word has different meanings. The first meaning, to create formal writing, poetry, or music. For example, he composed a few songs for his girlfriend. She will compose a letter of experience if you ask her to. The second meaning, to make up the components of something. For example, they composed more than half of the team. Sentences are composed of a few words that express a complete idea. The third meaning, to regain control of your emotions after being offended or enraged. For example, she looked perfectly composed after just hearing the bad news. During the argument, he kept quiet and only spoke after composing himself. Comprise is a verb meaning to comprise of, to be made up of items or people. For example, the package is mainly comprised out of a 2-night stay and breakfast. All other meals are not included. I'm working with a team comprised of many nationalities. Number 4. Gaff versus gaff. Gaff, without the E, is a noun, meaning the place where someone lives. For example, I would like to see his new gaff. Would you like to come over for dinner at my gaff? Gaff, with an E, is a noun, meaning a comment or behavior that is considered impolite and socially inappropriate. For example, she made a real gaffe when she called her boyfriend the wrong name. You made coffee for yourself without asking if anyone else wanted some? What a gaffe! Number 5. Learned versus learned. These words have the same meaning. Learned is standard American English and learned is standard British English. Learned or learnt is the past tense of the verb learn, meaning to gain proficiency in a field or activity. For example, we learned a lot of new things about history last week. They learned how to bake a cake. Number 6. Principle versus principal. Principal is a noun or an adjective. Principal as a noun means a school or university's leader. For example, he became one of the principals of a very wealthy school in his early 30s. Principal as an adjective means the top priority in descending order. For example, my principal reason for resigning doesn't matter to others. Principle is a noun. This word has more than one meaning. The first meaning, a fundamental theory or law that guides or clarifies how something occurs or functions. For example, it is important to know the principles of the justice system if you want to become a good lawyer. The second meaning, a moral code or guideline for acceptable behavior. For example, it's against my principles to be rude to someone. Number 7. Stationery versus stationery. Stationery with an A is an adjective, meaning neither changing nor moving. For example, I hate it when the traffic moves until it gets stationary. Let's hope that some prices remain stationary for a few more months. Stationery with an E is a noun, meaning supplies like paper, pens, pencils, and envelopes that are required for writing. For example, stationery gets more expensive as the year goes by. What stationery do you need for school? Number 8. That versus which. That is a determiner with different meanings. The first meaning, used to refer to something that is apart from the speaker in time or place, such as a concept, object, or person. For example, is that the dress you told your mom about? The second meaning, used to indicate to something that has already been discussed, was participated in, or is well known. For example, he drives the car that his mother bought him, which is a determiner or a pronoun with different meanings. The first meaning, when there is a definite or constrained range of possible solutions or frameworks for problems. For example, which doctor would you like to do the operation? The second meaning, used in writing, typically following a comma to provide additional information about a prior clause. For example, she showed me how to make her secret recipe, which was extremely kind of her. Number 9. There versus there versus there. There is a determiner, meaning a term that is used to refer to a single individual to avoid stating his or her. For example, I think that their house looks amazing after they redecorated it. Their opinions are of some importance. There is an adverb with two meanings. The first meaning, at that location. For example, I really think that we should go over there. Have you been there before? The second meaning, used to begin a statement, specifically prior to the verbs be, look, or appear. For example, there is someone here to see you. When we got back from the mall, there was no one left at the party. There is a contraction, meaning the short form of they plus are. For example, they're really lucky to have you as a friend. I really don't think that they're going to come. Number 10. Your versus your. Your is a determiner, meaning being addressed to or pertaining to the individual or group of individuals. For example, what are your plans for the upcoming summer holidays? Do you really think that you need to tell your mother about this? Your is a contraction, meaning short for you plus are. For example, you're one of the best people I know. I'm sure that you're going to get the award. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to press like, press subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Practice today's commonly misunderstood words by downloading the PDF document that is available under this video. If you want to use English to take your career to the next level, then click on the link under this video to join our Level Up training program. And if you want speaking practice with native teachers all day, every day, then watch our free 16-minute lesson about how you can understand what I am saying now, but still can't speak. I'm looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.